spent their first 2 picks on the defensive side of the ball. How do you see that addition of Georgia safety Malachi Starks helping them?
I think Malachi Starks might be one of the biggest additions, draft, trade, free agency, or otherwise, in all of football this year. When you think about what he's able to do to that defense, he frees up, as long as he plays well and plays early, which I believe he will, he frees up Kyle Hamilton to be one of the best players in football. Kyle Hamilton had to move to that deep safety slot as the season went on. He ended up changing the entire Ravens defense. They became one of the best units in all of football. And now he's going to be able to free up and play 4 or 5 positions. And so, by the way, is Starks. Eric DeCosta, their GM, said that Starks is wired like a Raven, which there's not a lot of teams where that should scare you. If you're wired like a Brown, wired like a Jet, that doesn't scare you. If you're wired like a Raven, that should scare teams this year. This is a guy that I think this time next year we will not believe slipped to the Ravens.
Yeah, it was one of those picks when it happened. Everyone said, of course. He's on the Baltimore Ravens. I agree with Kevin. I think the other thing to highlight is this pick, Malachi Starks, went from being this awesome pick, allows them to be more versatile, to a real necessity because last year, the Ravens defensive coordinator, Zach Orr, basically turned things around by putting Kyle Hamilton and Ardarius Washington at safety. Ardarius Washington got hurt. They need Malachi Starks to start. And so this pick, I think, proved to be extremely crucial. And honestly, I would have serious question marks about the Ravens defense this year if they had not made it.
Well, and Kevin, you mentioned after that move, Kyle Hamilton, the safety, was week 11. After that point, the Ravens actually led the NFL in points per game allowed, just 15.4. So they get younger, they get deeper. That is a scary proposition.
Yeah. I'll definitely keep this one pretty quick because I just already made a much longer Baltimore Ravens video, especially with like the Rashad Bateman extension and all of that. But to me, as much as I just spent all this time talking about the Baltimore Ravens offense and the continuity there and all of that, I think their defense was obviously not what you wanted it to be in the first like 10 or so weeks. And then they finally got on track. They made concrete moves. And then adding someone like a Starks really allows this Ravens defense to get back to being that, the feeling of just like, oh man, we're playing the ball, we got to go up against the Baltimore Ravens defense right now. And I feel as though that when all of these quarterbacks really just hit the scene, it was really kind of just this explosion of Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. There was really this feeling of just like, man, it's all about offense, offense, offense. Doesn't matter how good your defense is. These quarterbacks are all so good. No one could stop them anyway. It's just all about scoring, man. Like you just got to go all in. And I still think that there's some truth to that. You need to have a great offense to win. It's going to be pretty darn hard to win if you don't have a legitimate offense. It's going to be easier to win with a bad offense, with a bad defense and a bad offense to a degree. But obviously, go ask Joe Burrow. It's if you take it too far to the other side, it's can cause you trouble. But what I think we're also really learning though is that no matter how amazing and unbelievable and otherworldly these quarterbacks are, Lamar's, Josh, Mahomes, etc., they can be slowed down. There is a way to contain them. There is a way to make them uncomfortable. The defenses have caught up. The defensive coaches understand better now how do we slow down some of these great quarterbacks. And now when you actually have the manpower to be able to get after it, it's just absolutely positively night and day. Absolutely. It's just right now I feel like we're back in the NFL world where it's like, man, if you got a competent offense, as long as your offense just isn't a liability, if your defense can get after it, you are going to win games. And it's going to be at this point in 2025 impossible to beat the Josh Allens, the Lamars, the Mahomeses, the Burrows. You get the common theme here. Without a great defense. It just is. Like you're gonna have some of these shootout feelings, some of these games that just feel like, okay, it's whoever has the ball last. But like, what does it really come down to? Do you get that stop on Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen? Do you force that fumble? Do you force that crucial 3-and-out at such a brutal moment in the game? Like that's what it so much gets boiled down to. When I looked at the Commanders playing the Baltimore Ravens and the Eagles playing the Baltimore Ravens. The difference was defense. The Eagles played against the Baltimore Ravens defensively better. And that was it. It was really that simple, really that dumb, really that straightforward. Not much more complicated than that. And it's like, in order for the Ravens to be able to truly be as special as we know they can be, they need to have that special defense. Like, it was a bizarre feeling last year to be like, man, this offense feels awesome. They feel unstoppable. Everyone feels in rhythm. Lamar is so comfortable. Feels like at the absolute top of his game. He's got his weapons. He's got Derrick Henry. But now the defense is feeling like a liability. And you keep getting all these penalties. And you're just like, what? How does that make sense? If you just had the defense that you had in years past, like, how is this team not getting the 1 seed? And stop shooting yourself in the foot. And you have a first round bye and home field advantage throughout all of the playoffs. Like, what, like, come on. And to me, like, this is that step forward. This is the feeling of just like, we got our offense, man. We can't ask our offense to really do any more. We need our defense to step up. We need our defense to force those turnovers. When it's fourth quarter, 4 minutes to go, and Patrick Mahomes has the ball, we know that we can actually build a defense to stop him. And we know that it's actually important. It's not like, well, he's going to score. We just got to build an offense that can score as soon as we get the ball back. Like, no, get the stop. And this is exactly what I said after the Ravens lost against the Buffalo Bills, when I made a whole video defending Lamar Jackson. I was like, he was leading that team, leading the Ravens to tie the game up. And everyone was like, whoa, yeah, but then Josh Allen would have the ball. And it was like, and you know what? It's up to the Baltimore Ravens to force them to not be able to score. To force Josh Allen to not be able to progress. It's up to the Ravens defense to take care of the job. And as I highlighted in the one video with Drew Brees specifically, when it was talking about now the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs, Drew Brees highlighted perfectly. I don't remember what the exact numbers were, but he was just like, a massive amount of times the Kansas City Chiefs defense either stopped the opposing team from having a chance to score now, or they forced they forced like a turnover, or just a punt or whatever, or a field goal, to now give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes to be able to then take the lead. It's not just offense. It's not just Mahomes, Andy, Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy. Like, no. The defense plays a massive role in this, as it would have had to in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills. You tied the game up, awesome. Now stop Josh Allen. You be the team that dials up that perfect blitz and forces a crazy throw from Josh Allen. Like, you be that team. You be the team that stops Josh Allen and the Baltimore Ravens on third down and 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, like 5 times or whatever the heck it was. You be the team to do that. You be the team that forces Patrick Mahomes to throw 2 interceptions and a fumble. You be the team. Yeah, the Bengals are lighting everyone up. They have an amazing offense. Not when they play the Ravens. Joe Burrow, he's always struggles against the Ravens. Ravens got his number dialed up. Like, be that team. Be that team. When you be that team, you are that team. And you win. So, I think these are all the moves and the steps that take that forward. And if there's one thing that we know, it's just young defensive players, fresh out of college, like, they can make a very immediate impact, especially when the structure is in place, especially with the right coaching. Like, it pops, man, like, very quickly. The transition's almost like, it feels like it's like almost like nothing. So, I mean, it is almost kind of feels like we're pretty solidified in this whole get younger on defense, younger, cheaper on defense, medium age, even slightly older on offense, and then get after it. And you want the depth on defense because defensive players are always getting banged up, and you want young guys because they recover a lot quicker. And it feels as though that's what the Ravens are doing at this point. And so it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens and the need for them to really be able to step up defensively? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.